There are probably thousands of founders out there who are paying, $1,500 for a logo and then slapping it onto a $200 website.
Oh, yeah, every single day.
Right, and then they're just sitting there wondering why their business is failing to gain any traction. We see this, like,
It's
constantly.
their real estate mindset, honestly.
Exactly. People treat their digital presence like a piece of commercial real estate. You buy the land, you build the storefront, and you just assume that the foot traffic will magically appear.
Which is, I mean, a terrible strategy in the digital world.
It is the fastest way to go bankrupt. So, welcome to today's deep dive, where we are actually looking at a set of service and pricing documents from VinHub Labs. And this really proves why you have to treat your online presence like a living, breathing software ecosystem instead.
Yeah, and the VinHub Labs documents are, they're basically a perfect lens for this.
Yeah.
Because they aren't just, a standard menu of services where you pick and choose.
Right, like an a la carte menu.
Exactly. They are a highly structured blueprint for scaling your digital infrastructure. I mean, the traditional agency model is usually just capital expenditure. You pay a lump sum, they hand you a website, and then they walk away.
They just wash their hands of it.
Right. But VinHub positions themselves as architects of digital growth, which means their model actually tracks the exact life cycle of a business's maturity. They map out the whole transition from those initial launch projects into a fully integrated, automated operational expenditure.
And for you listening, I mean, whether you're running a B2B SaaS startup or you're trying to scale a direct-to-consumer e-commerce brand, this blueprint is huge. It reveals the structural economics of scaling a digital presence.
It really does.
If you're listening to this and you're like, currently stuck manually answering customer emails at midnight.
Oh, the worst.
Yeah, the math we are going to look at today suggests you are actively bleeding potential revenue. You don't want to overbuild your infrastructure too early, right? But under-equipping yourself when it's time to scale, that is exactly how you lose market share.
Yeah, because applying a late-stage strategy to an early-stage business, well, it simply burns capital. You need to look at the sequencing.
The progression.
Right. The documents outline this really clear progression from foundational assets all the way up to basically having an outsourced chief technology officer.
Okay, so let's start at that foundation, the launchpad. Looking at VinHub's project-based engagements, we see their baseline assets.
Yeah.
Their branding and identity package starts at, I think, $1,500?
Yeah, 1,500 takes about 2 to 4 weeks.
Right. And that provides the visual ecosystem. So logos, color palettes, typography, the full brand guidelines. But the website development package is where their pricing strategy really catches my eye.
Oh, the $199 one.
Yes. It spans everything from standard landing pages to custom web apps, but the starting price is an incredibly accessible $199, delivered in 4 to 8 weeks, and it includes a year of free hosting.
It's wild.
I have to challenge that math. I mean, how can any agency build a custom web app, or frankly, even a robust landing page for $199 without just bleeding money on developer hours?
Well, the short answer is they almost certainly are losing money on that initial build.
Right, they have to be.
Or, at best, breaking even. That $199 price point is basically an engineered loss leader.
Ah, okay.
It acts as this exceptionally low barrier entry point for a startup because the real goal there is customer acquisition.
Let's get them in the door.
Exactly. By subsidizing the cost of the initial development, VinHub gets the startup fully integrated into their specific hosting and content management ecosystem early on.
So they are essentially buying the lifetime value of the customer. They build the software foundation for dirt cheap because they know the founder's eventually going to need to scale it.
You hit the nail on the head. And the broader lesson here is about cognitive offloading.
Cognitive offloading. Break that down.
So a basic website and a brand guide, they're static assets, right? They establish credibility, but they do not generate a return on investment on their own without underlying systems.
A brochure doesn't sell itself.
Right. So VinHub gets the assets built and hosted, so the founder just stops worrying about server configurations and can actually start worrying about business operations.
Which brings up the immediate next bottleneck for a founder. Once the site is live, the daily reality completely shifts from the excitement of the launch to the absolute grind of maintenance.
The dreaded maintenance phase.
Yeah, and VinHub's service model transitions here. They move from one-off projects into their monthly subscription retainers. And they break this into 3 distinct tiers.
The first one being the foundation.
Exactly. Tier 1, the foundation, priced at $99.99 a month. And it includes premium web hosting, weekly updates, 247 security monitoring, monthly performance reports, and 1 to 2 hours of basic tech support.
Right.
Now, I'm going to play the skeptic here for a second,
Go for it.
because I can go to AWS or DigitalOcean right now and spin up a basic server for like $5 to $10 a month.
Sure you can.
So defend this $100 price tag. Is this just a massive markup on hosting?
Well, look, if you view it purely as server space, then yeah, the markup is astronomical. But you have to look at the operational reality of running a digital business.
Okay, what do you mean?
When you buy a $5 AWS server, you aren't just buying space. You are also buying the responsibility of patching server vulnerabilities, updating PHP frameworks, troubleshooting plugin conflicts.
Which always happen.
Oh, constantly. The $100 a month isn't for server space, it's operational insurance. The real value is hiding in that specific line item about the 1 to 2 hours of development time.
Oh, man. That makes total sense when you frame it around opportunity cost.
Exactly.
Like, if a checkout portal breaks at 2 a.m. during a massive promotional campaign, the founder really has two choices.
Panic or pay.
Yeah. They can spend 5 hours Googling weird error codes and trying to fix a broken database table themselves, or they can just submit a ticket to their agency, and the agency fixes it in 20 minutes.
And if you're the founder, your hourly rate in terms of the actual value you bring to growing the business is worth far, far more than the $100 a month you quote-unquote saved by self-hosting.
You're stepping over dollars to pick up pennies.
Precisely. We call that protecting the initial investment. Tier 1 is a purely defensive posture. It keeps the site fast, secure, and online.
But defense doesn't actually grow the company.
No, it doesn't. And when a business is ready to actually start scaling, they hit Tier 2, which VinHub calls the growth engine.
And this one jumps up to $319.99 a month.
Right. It includes all the defensive basics from Tier 1, but it adds these heavy-hitting offensive tactics. So you get CRM setup and ongoing customization, basic SEO, up to 5 hours of priority tech support, and crucially, WhatsApp integration and automation maintenance.
The psychological shift for the business owner here is massive, I think. Moving from $100 to $320 a month means you have officially stopped looking at your digital presence as this mandatory IT expense.
Right. It's no longer just a cost center.
Exactly. You are now treating it as a proactive revenue generator. And the standout feature that really enables that offense is the CRM and WhatsApp automation.
That's the game changer.
We really need to unpack how this actually works mechanically, because the term CRM, customer relationship management software, it gets thrown around a lot.
Oh, it's such a buzzword.
It really is. But its actual function in collapsing a sales funnel is rarely explained well.
Well, let's trace the mechanics of a traditional non-automated sales funnel first, just for contrast.
Okay, lay it out.
So a user clicks an ad, they land on a site, and maybe, if you're lucky, they fill out a web form.
Right.
That form generates an email to some general inbox, like info@company.com. A sales rep reads the email maybe 12 hours later, types up a reply, and just sort of hopes the customer actually opens it.
It is entirely asynchronous.
Completely. And the drop-off rate between the customer's initial burst of interest and the sales rep's eventual reply, I mean, it is catastrophic.
The lead goes entirely cold.
Right.
Like they've already bought from a competitor by the time you reply.
Exactly. But by integrating a CRM directly with WhatsApp automation, you completely collapse that timeline.
How so?
When the user clicks the ad, instead of a static web form, a script triggers the WhatsApp API prompt. The app opens directly on their phone, and it's already pre-filled with a question about the specific product they were just looking at.
Oh, wow. So no typing required to start.
Right. And the absolute second they hit send, the API communicates with the CRM. The CRM instantly captures their phone number, it assigns them a lead score based on the ad they clicked, and it triggers an automated conversational sequence.
That's brilliant. It's less like a digital concierge and honestly more like a casino pit boss.
I like that analogy.
Well, think about it. The CRM is the earpiece, right? The moment the customer interacts on WhatsApp, the system pulls up their metadata. It lets the automated system know exactly what information to offer them based on past behavior and their traffic source.
Yes.
You turn a passive website browser into an active tracked conversation in real time, and you do it on a platform they already check 50 times a day.
That reduction in friction is the core driver of modern digital commerce. You are no longer forcing the customer to navigate your confusing site architecture just to find an answer.
You bring the answer to them.
Directly to their mobile device. And because the CRM remembers the interaction, Any human sales rep who eventually steps in already has the full context of the entire conversation.
And more. Can I get your name and order number again?
Right. VinHub is engineering a system here that scales lead generation without requiring the business owner to hire an army of sales staff.
Okay, but here's the catch. So the WhatsApp integration works, right?
Mhm.
It doubles or triples the conversion rate, and suddenly the business is completely flooded with new customers.
A good problem to have.
Good, yes, but dangerous. The servers are strained, the inventory software needs custom API hooks to keep up with the CRM. The growth engine effectively breaks the foundation because it's too successful.
Yeah, the classic scaling cliff.
Exactly. How do mid-sized companies survive that scaling cliff without collapsing under their own weight?
Well, that scaling cliff is where most businesses actually fail. They reach a point where the digital infrastructure itself needs constant structural evolution. They need bespoke code at this point, not just off-the-shelf automation.
They need a real engineering team.
Exactly. And that brings us to the top-tier offering in the documents, Tier 3, which VinHub calls the digital partner.
Priced at $699.99 a month.
Right. And this is aimed squarely at those scaling e-commerce brands and rapidly growing tech companies we were just talking about.
VinHub describes this tier as handling, quote, everything from code to conversion, which is a bold claim.
It is, but they back it up.
Yeah, the deliverables include full WhatsApp commerce and click-to-chat ads management, custom web app scaling, a dedicated account manager, and unlimited technical support within their service level agreement.
The SLA. Yeah.
Before we go any further, just define the SLA for the listener. Because when an agency offers a service level agreement to a founder, what are they actually guaranteeing in legal terms?
Good question. An SLA is a binding contract that dictates very specific operational standards. It isn't just a promise to try hard.
We'll do our best.
Right, it's not that. It outlines exact response times, uptime percentages, like guaranteeing the site will be online 99.9% of the time. And it often includes financial penalties or bill credits if the agency fails to meet those metrics.
So they have skin in the game.
Absolutely. Because for a business doing tens of thousands of dollars a day in e-commerce sales, an hour of downtime isn't an inconvenience, it's a disaster. The SLA is the legal framework that shifts the financial risk of technical failure away from the founder and back onto the agency.
It acts as an operational safety net for these really complex digital ecosystems. And getting that level of support, along with the custom scaling, for $700 a month, I mean, that is fascinating.
It's incredibly cost-effective.
VinHub is essentially operating as an outsourced chief technology officer here. For a rapidly growing company, avoiding the massive overhead of hiring a full-time in-house tech team is a huge competitive advantage.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, an in-house senior developer alone would cost, what, 10 to 15 times that amount every single month, plus benefits.
Easily. The agency leverages economies of scale. They spread the cost of their senior developers across multiple Tier 3 clients, so that gives each client access to high-level engineering talent at just a fraction of the cost.
Smart.
But I will say the most critical component of Tier 3 isn't just keeping the site online or fixing bugs.
What is it then?
It is the line item offering continuous website concepts and UX/UI design via A/B testing.
Okay, I actually have a major strategic question about this specific feature.
Yes, sir.
Why is continuous A/B testing restricted solely to the highest tier? I mean, if optimizing the user experience increases conversions, why wouldn't VinHub test and optimize the website for the person paying $320 a month in Tier 2? Don't they want them to grow too?
It's a great question, but it comes down to the strict mathematical realities of statistical significance.
Okay, put your math hat on. Explain.
So A/B testing involves showing half your visitors one version of a web page, let's say a version with the green Buy Now button,
Right.
and then the other half sees a version with a blue button. You track which version generates more sales. But to know if the blue button actually caused the increase or if it was just pure random chance, you need a large sample size.
You need enough people to eliminate the margin of error.
Precisely. It is the exact opposite of a small-scale guess. At the Tier 1 or even early Tier 2 scale, web traffic simply isn't high enough for an A/B test to be mathematically valid.
Oh, I see.
If a site only gets, say, 100 visitors a week and 3 people click the blue button while 2 people click the green button, that data is entirely noise.
It means nothing.
Right. The p-value, which is the probability that your results occurred by chance, is just way too high. You absolutely cannot make structural business decisions on that kind of data.
Okay, so the agency isn't just gatekeeping the optimization to be greedy. It is actually physically impossible to execute a valid test without the massive traffic volume that comes at the Tier 3 scale.
Exactly. But when an e-commerce brand has 10,000 visitors a day, an A/B test that improves the conversion rate by even half of 1%, that translates into tens of thousands of dollars in new revenue.
That's incredible leverage.
At this tier, the digital presence becomes a living organism. It is never truly finished. It requires this constant, endless loop of forming a hypothesis, running a statistically valid test, analyzing the data, and then deploying the winning design.
The economic leverage there is just staggering.
It really is.
Let's pull all of this together and kind of map out the complete life cycle we've just unpacked today.
Yeah, quick recap.
It starts with establishing a brand identity through project-based capital expenditure, right? The $1,500 visual ecosystem and the heavily subsidized $199 web build.
The foundation.
Right. Once that foundation is laid, the business shifts into operational expenditure with Tier 1. So that's the defensive maintenance, paying for the cognitive offloading, and having that crucial insurance policy of developers on call.
And then from there, the business hits the scaling phase.
Tier 2.
Exactly. Tier 2 transforms the infrastructure into an active growth engine, utilizing a CRM and real-time WhatsApp APIs to just completely collapse the sales funnel and score leads automatically.
Right, switching from defense to offense. And ultimately, it culminates in Tier 3. The business outgrows off-the-shelf tools and requires an outsourced CTO.
Yes.
The digital presence is treated as a constantly evolving data-driven machine, utilizing statistical A/B testing to squeeze out every possible drop of ROI, backed by the legal guarantees of a service-level agreement.
So, if you are listening to this right now and mapping out your own operations, the critical question is whether your current infrastructure actually matches your growth stage.
That's the real takeaway.
Are you trying to run continuous A/B tests on a site that only gets 50 visitors a day? Or conversely, are you pushing 10,000 users a month into a static web form that generates a delayed email, effectively burning your own leads?
Treating a growth engine like a static brochure.
Right. Understanding the mechanical transition from a defensive posture to an automated growth funnel is really how you dictate the pace of your own scale.
Such a great point. And I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder today, something that becomes incredibly apparent when you look at the sheer mechanical power of a Tier 3 ecosystem.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Well, think about it. As these digital agencies become capable of automating the entire pipeline, from capturing the lead via a targeted ad, to routing them through a conversational AI on WhatsApp, to processing the transaction via custom CRM hooks, all while running mathematical A/B tests to optimize the color of the checkout button.
Doing the work of 20 people.
Exactly. At what point does your digital ecosystem stop being a tool that your business uses and start actually becoming the business itself?
Wow.
When the infrastructure reaches that level of complete autonomy, where exactly does the company end and the software begin?